Welcome back, Shalligators. We're talking about a very dark, sad, tragic subject today, and one that is not really in our wheelhouse that we usually talk about, but I was just getting so many requests from you guys to cover this topic that I'm like, okay, we gotta do it. Travis Scott's Astroworld massacre, basically. If you guys don't know what happened, which I'm sure by now you do, at his Astroworld festival, 8 people got killed, 300 injured in basically a crowd crush, like a stampede. And Travis is already being sued. I mean, this just happened, but the first lawsuit has already been filed saying he's basically responsible for this. And he's come out on social media expressing his devastation. Kylie, his baby mama, we're going to get to that, has also come out and expressed her sadness and everything. And this is not the first time Travis has been accused of inciting a crowd. He's been arrested twice, I believe, for this, faced other lawsuits for encouraging the crowd to rush the stage. I want rage. You know what, Travis, when I look at you, rage is just about all I feel. So you got it from me. He's left one man paralyzed. So why are we talking about this? Well, I just really would like to rant about it, and I'm going to. We're going to talk about how he should have handled this, celebrity stan culture. And here's a sentence I never thought I'd say. We're going to talk about the possibility that this is a satanic ritual. That's not, you heard me, you heard right. There's a lot of rumors going around saying that this was all part of a larger satanic blood sacrifice because he's got another baby on the way. Okay. As you guys know, I used to run a celebrity magazine. I've worked in celebrity journalism for almost my entire journalistic career in New York City, like 10, 15 years. Is there something to this? Is there an Illuminati? Is there a secret cabal of pedophiles that Donald Trump is single-handedly trying to dismantle? That man doesn't even care about his own children. It's not funny because it's so fucking twisted, but this is what people believe. So we're going to talk like, what the hell is going on? And I'm going to explain to you from a psychology point of view why people love to believe stuff like this and what it actually says is going on inside our minds. So we're gonna get into all this shit. But before we do, just want to remind you guys, if you want to talk to me one-on-one about Satan or anything else, perhaps Satan is not necessarily the devil as we know him. Perhaps it is merely your ex-boyfriend, Chad. I can help you with that. Head to my website, shallonlester.com. You can get an Instagram review as well. And you can elect to get help from me in just 24 hours because I know sometimes the drums and the devil cannot wait. Also, we have a few spaces left for our trips coming up next year. We're going to the Dominican Republic in February. It's going to be so fun. The trip's very affordable. You don't have to pay for it all up front. You can easily do a payment plan. And then we're also going to Costa Rica on a really adventure-y, fabulous trip over Memorial Day. We're bringing a yoga instructor and photographer, so we're going to have content. We're going to have downward dog. We're going to have cocktails. We're going to have a suntan. We're going to have a whole lot of me. It's going to be great. All right, let's talk about Satan. So I asked you guys on my Instagram, like, what is the topic here? Because I was getting so many requests from you guys, like, do a video on this. And I'm like, we kind of talk about, like, relationships, not, like, just tragedy for the sake of tragedy. But y'all wanted to know. And you guys really had a lot to say. And your suggestions were varied, but all sort of followed the same thread. Like, some of you guys were like, when to stand by your man. And how to know if you're dating a psychopath. Like, is Travis someone who has just made mistakes? Or is he someone who is callous and inhumane and dangerous and evil? It's an interesting question because on one hand, okay, so I think I said to one of you guys, I at first did not put the onus on Travis for this. I've been on stages, like not that large of a stage, but like, even if you do like improv or something, or a school play or something like that, you really can't see what's going on out there. The lights are on you and you can't see the crowd. And you also have an earpiece in and that's designed so that you can hear yourself, so you can sing on key. Not like that's ever been a concern for him. But it's very hard to understand what's going on in the crowd. And you hear people chanting and maybe you understand, you pull out your earpiece. So I can see why he didn't know this was going on. However, someone pointed out there's all this insider information coming out because when you have an event that has a 250,000 people at it, People are going to see a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of reporting. It was pointed out that Kylie and Stormy and his family, you know, the Kardashians and whoever else was there in their entourage, was evacuated from their personal VIP section while all this was going on. So someone knew. This wasn't like, we found out after the fact, which was exactly what him and Kylie said. And yet she was hightailing it out there. So this, for me, this was like the thing that removed the foundation of the house of cards. It's like, okay, so you did know. And the concert promoter tried to stop the show at 9:15. Travis kept performing to 10:15. So again, like, people were pulling plugs and he just kept going. And in the past, yes, he has a history of trying to incite violence at his own shows, like rush the stage, get on stage, blah, blah, blah. Security, get out of the way. I mean, what do you say to something like that? Who's essentially yelling fire in a crowded theater? He's not going to be subject to like whatever consequences befall these other people. I used to go to a ton of rock shows, a ton of punk shows. Like, I was like super punk in New York City for a long time. And I know exactly how dangerous a mosh pit is. And these are like tiny little venues, basically like basements, you know, where there's 20 people in the mosh pit, but they're like going like this, you know, just like bushwhacking around. I've seen people get black eyes, teeth knocked out, broken bones, broken jaws. Like, that shit's no joke. You multiply that by a factor of thousands, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that. Like, I don't like music festivals for that reason. I'm 1,000 years old. I'm rich. I want a seat in a perch with a waiter and drinks and shade, because my skin, I don't fuck around like this. I don't do this kind of shit anymore. No. And the people who lost their lives, I mean, you just can't even imagine it. You send your child off to somebody. I mean, one little boy was 14 years old and he's just this little bitty thing, you know, he didn't stand a chance in that crowd. Who would? You could have The Rock out there. They're not going to do anything. It's so bad. And what I've had a problem with is people comparing this to the Alec Baldwin situation, which we didn't really talk about. Because again, like, it's not really in our wheelhouse. But my heart is broken for Alec Baldwin. And it's really, as I've gotten definitely more moderate. I'm still a Democrat, but I've definitely gotten more moderate, as you guys have witnessed in real time. But it really hurt me to see conservative pundits, because I follow both sides, just lambasting Alec Baldwin. It's like, well, you're anti-gun. How's that going now? Come the fuck on, dude. Like, really? Like, we can all be on different sides of a political aisle. We're still human beings. Like, why would you taunt someone about the worst thing they've ever been through? I mean, I've never gotten a DUI, thank God, you know? But, like, I think all of us can agree, like, I'd rather get hit by a car than accidentally kill someone else. I mean, I can't even imagine it. And, like, I've done TV, you know, and I've done movies. I did a show called The Eliza Schlesinger Sketch Show on Netflix. I was in it. It was really fun. And we had a scene where she like smashed all the dishes off the table and they all broke. Now, dishes, when they're on set like that, you see like a beer bottle break over someone's head. There's something called breakaway glass. Like, they're 4 sets. They're not real and they're made of sugar. Isn't that interesting? That's why they break so easily. So you see a bar fight scene, it's like, you're like cracking a beer bottle over someone's head. Because I was always like, are they secretly wearing a helmet? How are they doing that? Like, you can fake a punch. You can't fake a glass cracking, but it's because it's not real glass. So after we filmed the scene, we were done. I mean, it takes 8 hours to film a 3-minute scene. It's wild. I actually have a behind the scenes thing on my Instagram if you want to check that out. It's called BTS, not about the band because I don't care about them. But we were like just messing around, and one girl, she's like, oh my God, I want to try this. And she cracked a glass over another chick's head. And it didn't hurt, you know, she was like, oh, like a little, but if that was a real glass, she could have killed her, you know? I mean, people go to prison for that shit. And I thought about that with this Alec Baldwin thing. He's not there to go around and be like, oh, are there real bullets in this gun? Why would you even ask that? You're on a set, you have an armor, it's their job. We on the set of this show weren't like, but is this glass real? Okay. Well, how about this? Is this glass real? Okay. How about this plate? We're like, it's put in front of me. It's the prop master's gig. That's their job. It's not my job to police them. Who the fuck am I? My job is here to act. I don't want the prop master coming over and be like, you should do your line that way. Everyone has their own job. But if that had been different, That could have been an Alec Baldwin situation. So to blame him has just been so wrong, I think. So incredibly wrong. But Alec is not Travis, what's his name? Scott? Also, Jacques Webster is his name. Jacques is a pretty badass like rapper name. Like not a lot of people are named Jacques. I don't understand making up a different name when it's like a very generic suburban name. It's like, no. I'm not Shallon Lester. I'm Christy Phillips. It's like, okay, whatever. Your real name's kind of cooler, but sure. It's just very odd. Anyway, he is the artist and he does designate a lot of what goes on at a concert. And if he's inciting crowds and he's got a history of doing that, I just don't understand why the fuck all those people were there in the beginning. Like in the first place. I've listened to his music. I don't get it. I don't get it. And look, I love how people get mad in the comments. Like, how could you not get it? Wouldn't it be wild? What if we lived in a world where everyone could like different music? Bro, I like country music, okay? You think people don't have a lot of judgments about country? I'm like, cool, bro, you don't like it. I really don't care. Like, leave me alone with my Sam Hunt and my Kenny Chesney and go fuck off with your, oh, I like Johnny Cash. Oh, do you? You're so unique, Chad. That's what I always hear. Yeah, I don't get it. And I feel like so many of his fans are like Kylie stans who think if they attend enough Travis concerts, they're going to turn into Kylie. Also, what is with Travis's glow down? This is how he used to look. And this is how he looks now. He literally, to me, looks like a crackhead. If I saw this man outside 7-Eleven, I'd be like, get away from me. Don't come and talk to me. I don't want to buy your mixtape. I don't want to go to your concert. No, I don't want a lip kit. He just always looks so stoned. And, you know, we always go back to this example of like this interview he did with Kylie. Like they were quizzing each other on how well they knew the other person. And I don't even know if he knows her last name because he doesn't know the names of her dogs. They already had Stormy together. Like, can you imagine if, like, I told you that, oh, like, I've had a baby with this guy and he sees my dog. He's like, who is that? I'm like, it's Cowboy. He lives here. As you do. It's Cowboy. The whole thing is just, it struck me as so, these bangs. Don't even get me started. The whole thing of their relationship just struck me as so incredibly weird. So you want to talk Satan? Is that what you want to do? Okay. You guys, there were a lot of suggestions about this Satan thing, and it's, do y'all believe this? Do we need to, what's going on? Okay, so one of you, I can't pronounce your name, it's Ilelvia, I'm sorry, babe. But she's like, a dove, the symbol of the human soul, as the concert opening picture with demonic music. To be fair, I think all of his music sounds demonic because I think it's bad. She said it's a satanic ritual. There's 8 flames on stage and 8 people dead. His slogan is see you on the other side. Okay, but like me for Evil Week, I mean, what was mine? Like what didn't kill me should have tried harder. Like may death never stop us. Like choose evil, not kindness. Am I a Satanist? I can't even find a good waxer in this town. You think I can find a satanic cabal? Really? I mean, if you know any, feel free to DM them, but like, whatever. So a lot of you guys are pointing this out. Like, this is a blood sacrifice. He's got a baby on the way. Look at me. I'm speaking in tongues like I'm possessed by the devil. Why do we believe things like this? We have a huge impulse to blame the successes of other people on something external. Satanism. She slept her way to the top. Her dad bought her that internship. Why? Because then it diminishes and dilutes our own shortcomings as we see them. Well, I mean, of course the Kardashians are famous. Like, Kris Jenner is like a Satanist. Like, the more insane, the better. Not just, well, she slept her way to the top, but it's the devil. Then we ourselves don't have to work as hard. Well, of course I'm not going to get a promotion. I'm not worshiping the devil. Because nobody wants to look at the facts. Our outcomes in our life are because of our own actions. I have a mom who is a narcissist. Bitch, join the club. I mean, not my mom, my daddy. We all have a sad song to sing, sweetheart. We all do. I've got 2 words for you. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Okay? He had a song to sing. Bad one. Real bad. He became the president of South Africa after 30 years in prison? Successful people do not stay in a place of victimization. Successful people do not constantly look at why it's not fair that other person is succeeding. That their success has nothing to do with you, baby girl. Nothing. Travis Scott could sell out every arena on planet Earth forever, does nothing for me as a YouTuber. Not even tangentially related. And once we get that through our head and stop victimizing ourselves, then we can actually change. Then we can be successful. But until we do that, we're going to stay stuck in this bizarre melange of, well, it's because of the cabal. It's like, it's not. It's because you don't study. It's because you don't save your money. It's because you let this fuckboy come over and bust inside of you 3 times a week, and he won't speak to you in real life. That's why you're not happy. It is not Travis Scott. It's not Jay and Beyonce. It's not Epstein. It's not Shallon Lester. It's you. Believe me, this is the tough talk nobody wants. Nobody. But you're already kind of unhappy. You might not be connected to it. You might not be tapping into it, but aren't you? So, okay, if you're going to be stressed and you're giving your energy towards something, because your energy is being spent, it's like currency. You're frittering it away. Maybe fritter it on that dream. Go to bed tired, not from being miserable and bitter and seething about what your parents didn't do for you and what your best friend didn't remember to do. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe go to bed tired because you were up late studying. Yeah? Because you picked up an extra shift because you're saving your money to buy that new car. Because you're going to bed early, you're getting up, you're training for that 5K because that's what you've always wanted to do. Where is your energy going? Where's your energy going? Listening to QAnon conspiracy theories? Maybe listen to a history podcast and learn how the rise of the Nazis is almost directly mirroring what's going on in this country today. That's something I want to hear about at a party, not about some serpent DNA. That's weird. Okay, well, like I said, I've been in celebrity journalism for a long time. And I know people who run magazines. Guys, I don't even know. This is just crazy. I have to even say this. I do not believe there's any sort of satanic cabal going on. You know why? Because when you're rich, you need neither God nor the devil. When you have money, you don't need to pray. You don't need to go to church. You don't give a fuck what the saints say about you, and you certainly don't need to appeal to Satan. You already have power. And when we really look at what religion is, we're seeking power. We're seeking knowledge, which is power. Why did someone die? Why isn't that person getting punished for something here on earth? How can I manipulate this situation to my own advantage? Jesus, the devil. Not power in a negative way, but control over our lives. One of the most terrifying things is to think we have no control. That we're just like on the third rock from the sun, hurtling through space. Our lives mean nothing. We're going to die someday. No one's going to remember we were here. It's our fear of mortality itself. So we look to religion to give us meaning. And therefore, we look to religion to give meaning to the actions of others. The reason we think that there's some sort of devil worship at play is because to look at the truth, which is evil people walk among us, and evil is a very thin line from goodness. To be truly evil, what is the saying? All a man needs to be evil is to stand by and do nothing while evil happens, right? I know that I'm messing this up, but that is the thing. You are evil if you watch someone in pain and you don't help. You are evil if you could have prevented a school shooting and you didn't. You are evil if you protect a rapist. Are you at home worshiping on some goat altar? Probably not. You are literally not doing anything, and you have somehow tipped into the category of evil. And to think that, and to know that we are but a meniscus thin hair's breadth away from absolute chaos and ruin and maliciousness by doing literally nothing to stop maliciousness. That's a very frightening thought for us. And it's made even more frightening to know that people with money Well, they could do a lot more damage, can't they? They could incite a crowd. They could incite people on YouTube or on the internet, right? They could manipulate stocks with a single tweet, can't you, Elon? That seems very frightening, because what does that say? There's an imbalance of power. Why do they have so much power? Why do I have so little? It must be because they're worshiping the devil. No, baby girl. It's because they're rich. It's because they're fucking rich. And it's because you don't feel rich, and therefore you don't feel like you have power, and on and on and on. So we, instead of looking at ourselves, oh, well, I don't feel like I have a lot of personal power in my life because I dropped out of 10th grade because this guy told me to, or I'm too afraid to apply to law school because my mom doesn't think I'd get in, or I really can't like try for that promotion at Cinnabon at the airport because my manager doesn't like me. Whose fault is this? How about Jeffrey Epstein's? Okay. I talked in an Evil Week video about why I got canceled, and I got canceled because I'm an uppity white woman who doesn't apologize and I've got opinions. Yikes. Nobody likes that, right? Not in this day and age. So you expand that and you can see why people are assigning this incredibly bizarre justification and reason for why certain people get to make it in the world and why other people don't. It has got to be the devil. Okay. Maybe it is. Let's say that it is. Let's say the devil is real. The devil works hard. Kris Jenner and Shallon Lester work harder. That's fine. Let's say there's a cabal of pedophiles that Trump is trying. I'm gonna laugh till I cry. Why him? Why not like Joel Osteen is trying to overthrow this? Like, okay, I could see him having some skin in the game. He knows about Jesus and the devil. Trump? He doesn't fucking care, dude. Like, he won't even speak to his own son, Barron. It's... Oh, I have a theory about why Barron Hilton, or not Barron Hilton, he's a nightmare. Barron Trump is so tall. He's 6'7" and he's like 14 or 13, something like that. Because he's autistic. And I think Trump was like, no, and was giving him some sort of experimental, like maybe just growth hormone or something. And was like, he's going to literally grow out of this autism. He's going to be a giant, and autism only happens if you're like 4'11", and it's not going to happen. I think something like that happened. I would not be surprised. He's not the brightest bulb. Trump, not his son. His son's, I heard, is actually very smart. He's very into trains. Yeah. But, which is cool. I don't know how trains work. I don't know how anything works. But I am reasonably certain that the devil is not behind the success of certain celebrities. What is? What is? This is the thing with celebrity, man. It is a ruthless fucking game. And you don't have to make some Faustian deal in order to get ahead. You just have to be your own Faust and your own devil. Do you understand that reference? Okay, maybe not. Again, like, we think that the only way someone like Travis, someone like, I don't know, Beyonce, like, they're always looped in this weird Illuminati shit. Like, again, he's literally just a drug dealer and super fucking ruthless and knows how the game works, knows how to manipulate people. He does not need the devil. When we become our own devil, Satan's kind of irrelevant. That's why I do Evil Week. Because we cannot entrench so much into this, like, goodness bullshit that we forget how the game works. I'm not saying you have to become an evil person and you have to be incredibly ruthless, although honestly, your life would be a lot easier if you were. If you could slough off this ridiculous husk of trying to be polite and please other people, where the fuck has that gotten you? Where's that gotten you? I mean, you want to do that for friends, for your loved ones, obviously for your pets. Everybody else? What is politeness getting anyone? I mean, there's politeness. Like, go ahead, yes. But that pandemic of politeness that women are subjected to, where, sure, you can come in, well, I don't know, that was my project, but no, it's okay, I'm not going to say anything, I'm just so polite. Keeps us broke, poor, murdered, the list never ends. So I encourage you, during Evil Week, go back and watch it, to instead learn how evil works. If you don't want to be evil, great, that's fine, more for me. But you need to know how evil people work so you can be girded against them. So when they come at you, you're not like, it's the devil operating through them. No, baby girl, you're dealing with a sociopath, a garden variety, lack of empathy monster. It's not the devil, it's them. I can tell you how to counter these people. It's not going to cost you a rosary or any holy water, but you got to walk in the light of the truth. If you're attributing bad things in this world to something supernatural, okay? I mean, we think this because we think we're going to gain more power over it. We're going to understand it better. We gain less. We gain so much less when we don't look at the reality of a human being's capabilities. So this was not our typical topic, but I think it did relate in terms of the psychology behind certain beliefs that we have. You know, we are not, again, doing ourselves any favors by attributing man's very real, very close to the surface ability to be evil. We're not doing ourselves favors if we think that's like part of some like conspiracy, it's the Illuminati. It is literally every person's wheelhouse. Every single person has the capability to be incredibly evil. How evil is defined is a spectrum, right? It's like saying every person has the capability to be athletic. Okay, well, what does that mean? Does that mean go to the NBA? Does that mean they can do the splits if they practice for 6 months? It's somewhere in the middle. It's a spectrum. You know, sexuality is like that. We know athleticism is like that. Sexuality is like that. Outgoingness and extroversion is like that. We honestly are going to tell ourselves, oh, evil's not. Okay. I walk in the light of the truth on this. I look at every person out there. I'm like, I love you, but I know what you're capable of because I know what I'm capable of. And I'm going to do myself a real disservice moving through this life if I assume only I am capable of being a little wicked. I got to walk in assuming everyone else is as bad as me, if not worse. Now, that doesn't mean I'm treating people like, you know, they're some rabid dog. No, that means I am not afraid to judge people by the depravity of their actions. Anyone can be nice. Anyone can be charming. You know the example. Yes, Hitler was a delight at parties. Absolutely. We have to look at the depravity of someone's behavior. How do they act when they don't get what they want? How do they act when they told they can't do anything? How does someone behave when there is a boundary? When there is a rejection? When there's a, no, I don't think so. They accept it with grace, poise, disappointment. All right, I respect you. I don't love it. I respect it. Or do they fly off the handle? Are they absolutely batshit crazy? But we need, if we can accept this, even though it's a bit of a gloomy outlook, then we are more likely to walk in the light of the truth when we see red flags. And therefore, not put ourselves constantly in harm's way. When we see a guy fly off the handle when we won't have sex with him, we're not going to think, oh, that's an outlier behavior. He's a good guy. We're going to say, nope, there it is. There it is. The mask has fallen. Now this is the real you. Got it. I'm out. Kylie's in a real fucking mess. She's in a real mess. She's got 2 kids with a dude who doesn't seem to have any value for human life, over his own ego, over his self-mythologization and aggrandizement. That's a man you want fathering your children? It's not how I'd play it. I want to know your thoughts on this. I know this is kind of like a rambling, esoteric video, but I mean, we're talking about Satan and Travis Scott and his glow down. So it wasn't going to be super linear to begin with. I am sorry. We are going to be back. We're going to do a Beth Dutton video. Yeah, we're going to do it. And, you know, we're going to be back. And like I said, if you guys have any love questions or any kind of questions for me, hit me up on my website, shallonlester.com, and click submit a question. Also, if you want a cameo, a little video shout out, I got you on that front, girl. I'm Shallon XO. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Shallon XO. We'll see you later. Gotta go worship at my goat altar. Yeah. Hail Satan. Satin. I really love a satin dress. A good bias cut satin dress. Now that's the kind of cabal I can get behind. I'll see you later.